Lionel Messi paid tribute to Pope Francis following his death at the age of 88 on Monday. The Vatican confirmed that the first Latin American pope passed away in Rome, after which all football matches in Serie A and Primavera 1 championships scheduled for the day were postponed. Francis, a native of Buenos Aires, was a devoted supporter of the local club San Lorenzo and a great admirer of Messi. The two met in 2013 during a private audience at the Vatican, a distinguished Argentinian pope. Messi wrote on Instagram alongside a photo of them together, "Rest in peace, Pope Francis. Thank you for making the world a better place. We will miss you." San Lorenzo also honored the pope. He was a Cuervo from childhood to the papacy, always shared his passion for the Cyclone, in the stadium, in the chapel, in the Vatican. Member number 88235, from Jorge Mario Bergoglio to Francis. One thing remained unchanged: his love for the club. Goodbye, thank you, and see you in eternity. Jose Mourinho also paid tribute on Instagram. To be great, you must first know how to be small. Humility is the foundation of greatness. Pope Francis, hope is a light in the night. Grande Papa. His death was announced by Cardinal Kevin Farrell. At 7:35, Francis returned to the house of the Father. He lived the gospel with faith, love, and care for the most vulnerable. We entrust his soul to the merciful love of God. Football fans have linked the death of Pope Francis to the so-called curse of Aaron Ramsey. On Monday, the Vatican announced that Pope Francis passed away at the age of 88 after battling pneumonia. However, some fans online once again brought up Ramsey's curse, a phenomenon where his goals supposedly coincide with the deaths of celebrities. This occurred just 2 days after Ramsey became the interim manager of Cardiff City ahead of his first match. One user on X wrote, 2 days after his appointment, and the Pope dies. The curse is alive. Another added, even in management, Ramsey brings death. This myth began during the Welshman's career at Arsenal, Juventus, and other clubs. Out of 75 career goals, at least 23 have coincided with high-profile celebrity deaths, including Steve Jobs, David Bowie, and Whitney Houston. In 2015, Ramsey dismissed the theory as ridiculous, though he joked, "At least I took out some villains. After my goal, Osama bin Laden and Muammar Gaddafi." Jorge Bergoglio, the future Pope Francis, was a fan of San Lorenzo, and although he wasn't the best football player, he always loved to play. He recalled that in his childhood, he was called Pata Dura because he wasn't particularly skilled at football, but still played. "I've always liked playing football, even though I wasn't particularly good at it. In Buenos Aires, people like me were called Pata Dura, as if I had 2 left feet." Pope Francis recalled in his autobiography Esperanza, 2025. Known for his passion for football, he paid tribute to the sport, welcomed delegations from various clubs, and warmly greeted fans wearing San Lorenzo and Argentina shirts. His childhood memories of football include his admiration for the 1946 San Lorenzo team. The Pope also experienced the joy of San Lorenzo's victory in the 2014 Copa Libertadores, when goalkeeper Sebastian Torrico visited him with a trophy. Francis was even willing to wake up at night to find out the result of the final. Francis also supported the Argentina national team, which won 3 World Cups. He had the opportunity to speak with Diego Maradona, asking him about the famous Hand of God goal. He said of Maradona, he was a poet on the field. Francis always believed in the role of sport in social change. Pope Francis, who passed away this Monday at 7:35 a.m., never hid his passion for football, especially his love for San Lorenzo de Almagro. Not long ago, he surprised many by distancing himself from the eternal debate between Maradona and Messi, choosing Brazilian legend Jorge Pelé as the greatest footballer in history. Maradona or Messi? I would add a third, Pelé. These are the 3 I have followed. Maradona was great, but as a man, he faltered. Messi is impeccable, a true gentleman. But for me, Of these three, the best is Pelé, he said in an interview with Italian Rai. For the Pope, sport was a fundamental tool for building a better society. Sport is a means to express one's talents, but also to build society. Sport teaches us the value of fraternity. On the field, it doesn't matter a person's origin, language, or culture. What matters is commitment and a common goal. This unity in sport is a powerful metaphor for our lives. It reminds us that despite our differences, we are all members of the same human family, he said at the beginning of last year. Friends, hit like if you are interested in this episode and didn't know about the football side of Pope Francis. Let's keep going! And now, worrying news not only about the existence of football, but about the entire world. The death of Pope Francis at the age of 88 opens the possibility of electing a new pontiff from 22 candidates. The conclave, which will take place in the Sistine Chapel, will determine the favorite. However, the Pope's death has once again brought up the theory of Nostradamus, who predicted the end of the world after 3 popes, a foreign one, an old one, and a black one. This theory gains relevance due to the presence of black cardinals among the candidates, such as Peter Turkson and Robert Sarah. It's also linked to the prophecy of Saint Malachi, according to which the last pope will be Francis, and after him the earth will change. This idea is interrupted in various ways, and although it lacks concrete evidence, it has gained popularity due to the figure of Nostradamus. But don't worry, the world will be saved by a Liverpool fan or contender from Cristiano Ronaldo's tiny isle. Or it will be Lord Anthony. Just kidding, guys. The next pope could be a Liverpool fan who received a message from God while standing on the cup. Cardinal Vincent Nichols, a potential candidate to become the next pope, was born in Liverpool and is a devoted Liverpool supporter. He felt his calling to the priesthood while standing on the famous cup at Anfield. Perhaps the next pope won't walk alone through the streets of Vatican City. Cardinal Nichols was born on the banks of River Mersey and once stood among the crowd on the legendary cup. It was a spiritual experience during a match at Anfield that inspired him to follow the path of priesthood. In a 2007 interview with The Times, he joked, "I went to watch Liverpool, was standing on the cup at Anfield and said to God, why don't you just leave me alone? Why can't he just be one of the crowd?" One of the possible contenders for the next pope was born on the same small island as Cristiano Ronaldo. Madeira is a small island off the west coast of Africa and an autonomous region of Portugal. It's also the birthplace of Cardinal José Tolentino Mendonça, one of the key figures to watch in the upcoming election of the new pope. Following the death of Pope Francis at the age of 88, he and several other prominent clergy have been named as potential successors to the Holy See. An avid and acclaimed poet, Mendonça, like the famous Portuguese forward, was born on the small island. However, he didn't stay there for long. In his childhood, he moved with his family to Angola, where he spent time with his father, a fisherman, before leaving the country when Portuguese forces withdrew. This was the Football News Tribuna channel, and today we talked about the football side of Pope Francis, who has passed away. Subscribe to our channel to learn more about world football. Take care, and goodbye!